Hi, I'm Will Weber, the instructor for your Math 142 class. I'd like to take a look at the syllabus in this video. Um, Here we go. This is, of course, Math 142, 5 credits. Generally, I figure on a 5-credit class. If it were a face-to-face class, you'd be doing 5 hours a week in class, and probably 10 hours a week out of class is not unreasonable to expect. So you might make sure you're budgeting in the vicinity of 15 hours a week for this class. Okay, just so you know up front, I don't expect you to be doing some work. So this is the fall of 2017, and let's see, we got a prerequisite of C or better in Math 141. Prerequisites get you into the class, but you really need to know everything from previous classes to get through it. As well as being a math professor, I've been a licensed electrician, and you have to pass a test for the state to become licensed, and you need 70% to get your license. So that's great. And then you go out and you do some work, and the inspector comes and inspects it, and then the inspector doesn't look at it and say, "Oh, you got 70% of the work right." It's like, no, you got one thing wrong. Fix it. Right? So yeah, C gets you in, but I really am going to, really, if you've got deficiencies, if you've got things that you feel shaky about, ask, and we will get you up to speed as best we can. You should know everything from previous math courses. Of course, you've already found the site here because you're watching this video, but we are at www.wamap.org. Course ID number is, of course, 15334, and the enrollment key is 142. As I've said, I am Will, Dr. William T. Weber. My office, I actually have a physical office at the Whatcom Community College campus. You are welcome to come to it and see me there. Sometimes I think my online students forget that they actually can physically see the teacher. You go right into the office and talk to me. I'm there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Friday mornings, but not as good a bet on Friday, but certainly Thursdays I'm there. My official office hours, oh, sorry, the office is LDC, Laidlaw Building here, 221. My official office hours are from noon to 1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But I have an 8:15 class, which gets done at 9:20, and I'm just there for the rest of the day, most of those, those first 4 days of the week. So come on, stop in. If my door's open, I'm willing to help. That's what I do. That's my job, to help my students. So come on by. If you want to give me a call, 360-383-3566 is the phone number in the office. If I'm not there, you'll get my voicemail, and so you can leave a voicemail that gets forwarded to my email, and then I can actually listen to it. Anyway, the email there, wweber@whatcom.edu. Send me an email if you'd like. I check that fairly often. I'm in my office, it just goes bing when it comes in, so I see it right away. Anyway, the text we're using for this class is Pre-Calculus, Mathematics for Calculus, 7th edition by Stewart, Redlin, and Watson. This is the same book that we use for Math 141 if you took it from us here at Whatcom. Okay. In this textbook, we will cover chapters 6, 5, 7, and 8, and I purposely put those out of order because we will do chapter 6 first, and then 5, and then 7, and then 8. There's a debate within the mathematics community when you're learning trigonometry as to what order it should be done in. Some think it should be done unit circle first. I think trig is about triangles, so I do the triangle approach first. And actually, this book is set up to do it in either order. They put it in the wrong order, but they know that people are going to do it in the opposite order. So it's written pretty well to do it either way. So anyway, we will start with chapter 6, then go to 5, then 7, and 8. It's basically a trigonometry class. But towards the end, we have some time doing some polar coordinates and some parametric equations to end the quarter with parametric equations. Fun. This course, the material in this course is the bulk of what I use when I'm doing my modeling for, I do a lot of 3D printing. I do a lot of creation of art and various things. I have long said that the reason I do math is so I can draw pretty pictures. My hands aren't steady enough, but my math is good enough to get computers to draw what I want it to draw. And this course has got a lot of what I use in it, so it's a fun course for me. Hopefully it will be for you. It's a very geometric, very visual course, so be ready for that. Anyway, here's a list of course outcomes. This would be the things that the department has said are probably the most important things. And when I'm making up my quizzes and tests, I kind of got an eye on these, saying, well, am I testing for these outcomes? Because these are the things I'm expecting you to be able to do by the end of the quarter. So it's a good list to take a look at as you're studying for things, to make sure you can do some of this stuff, or all of this stuff. That would be even better. Okay. Core learning ability. Of course, the college has 4 or 5 core learning abilities: quantitative literacy, information literacy, communication, critical thinking, and global consciousness. This course will, of course, be focusing on your quantitative literacy. Although, honestly, you've got to be fairly quantitatively literate to get in here. So, anyway, that's what we're focusing on, quantitative literacy. Let's see. At the end of the quarter, I need to give you a grade. And so that grade needs to be based on something. So here's some work that you're going to have. Actually, not all of it's graded because the homework isn't graded, but the homework is what it takes to get the grade. You think about anything that you know how to do really well. Are you a skateboarder? Do you play the piano? Are you a pole vaulter? Are you a baseball player? Is there something that you can do really well? And when you think about that thing, think about how much time you've spent practicing. Anything that you get that good at takes practice. Math is no different. I'm really good at math, but I have spent hundreds of thousands, if not millions of hours doing math. It's not just my job, it's my hobby, it's my life. I just love doing it, and I've gotten really good at it. You too can get really good at it with practice. And so that's what the homework is. The homework is just a chance for you to practice. I'm not grading the homework. You don't need to be graded on your practice. You need to be graded on some assessments afterwards to see how much that practice has helped. So there's 2 types of homework. Within the WAMAP page itself, each section, there are some practice problems that you can do. You type in the answer to WAMAP and it automatically grades them, so you know right away whether you're right or wrong. You can try again. That homework, you can try them as many times as you want. In fact, I think some of them even have the option of sort of regenerate the problem with different numbers. So certainly do those. Then there's also the textbook. If I were doing a face-to-face class, I would not be using the WAMAP assignments. I would just be using the textbook. And so I have a list here of the section numbers and what homework I would assign. Notice that this is in sequence notation. So n, think of as an integer. Integers are 0, 1, -1, 2, -2, 3, -2, 3. And so if I look at all of the numbers of the form 2n plus 1, where n is an integer, so for instance, if n is 0, 2 times 0 plus 1 is 1. If n is 1, 2 times 1 plus 1 is 2, 3. So 1, 3. This is a sequence of numbers, which is the problems that I think you should do. In particular here, if n is an integer, then 2 times n is an even integer, and you add 1, you get an odd integer. So this is my shorthand way, my sequence way of saying do the odds, right? Odds. Just, you can stop here at 73, you can stop here at 99. Here's a 4n plus 1. 4n plus 1 is, if n is an integer, then 4 times n is a multiple of 4, and you add 1, so you got 1, 5, 9, 13. It's actually every other odd. So anyway, these are the, in face-to-face class, these are the homeworks I would expect people to be working on. As you're working on homework, I ask you or require you to use the discussion boards. Each week there is a discussion forum. So you open up the week there's a set of instructions, there's a set of a box of content for you to read, and that's where the first part homeworks are in there. And then towards the bottom of the week is a discussion board. You click on that and you can ask your questions. In fact, the WAMAP problems are automatically linked to the discussion within the question. If you have a problem with a question with one of the problems you're working on, you can say, ask a discussion forum. You just click the link and it brings you right into the discussion. And there are 12 discussions throughout the course. It's an 11-week course, so there's one every week. Plus there's the introduction, tell us who you are in the getting started section. So there's 12 discussion forums, and your grade, it depends on all 12 of those. Just put something of substance in. Just replying to somebody saying, "Oh yeah, good point," or "Hey, I was thinking the same thing," or "Thanks," that's not what I'm looking for. If you go in and ask a question, that's substance. If you answer someone's question, that's substance. If you just say, "Hey, here's a problem that I worked through and here's how I did it," that's substance. You might say, "Oh, here's a website I found that really helped me work this," and post the website that you have found. That's substance. Each week you get, well, I usually score it out of 10 points. You get 10 points or you don't get 10 points for participating in a substantive way. Do something positive. Add to the discussion. Right? It's really easy to do. You just go in and do it. You may notice on the calendar that the discussions don't really show up. There's not a due date on the discussions. There is a due date. The due date is when I grade them. That I don't put a due date on them because I don't want the discussions to end necessarily. There may be people talking about a problem. It hangs over into the next week. That discussion I still will accept, even if people are working on it in the next week. I usually delay by a week, maybe as much as 2, before I grade a discussion, to let those discussions, individual discussions play out. So once they have, then I grade it, and then I don't grade anymore once I've graded that discussion. The due date is passed. So anyway, you should do it during the week of the discussion, but if it hangs over a little bit, then that's going to be fine. It's 10% of your grade, and you just be part of the class, right? I will certainly be just answering questions and helping people on that discussion, but I really like to see other people chiming in and giving their solutions and whatnot. Trying to explain to someone else how to do something is an amazing way to learn it yourself. All right, so this should be a helpful thing. Okay, I'm starting to run low on my 15 minutes. Anyway, the next thing is quizzes. Each week, it'll appear on Wednesday during the week. There'll be a quiz. It appears on the WAMAP page right below the discussion. The quiz covers the material of that week. That's all the stuff that's in the content part of that week. It appears on Wednesday and it's due on Sunday. If you take a look at, I'm scrolling down to the bottom here of the syllabus, there's a calendar, and on the left side of the calendar is a number showing what week we're in. So when you're, if it's October 3rd, we should be in week 3, and on the WAMAP page, you should be working under the box that says week 3. The content, the discussion, the quiz, right? The weeks start Monday morning at 12:01 and they end Sunday night at 11:59. So quizzes are due at 11:59 p.m. on the Sunday. So quiz 1 will be due September 24th at 11:59. Quiz 2 is due October 1st at 11:59. Right? They're always due on that Sunday night. I am about to run out of time, so I'm going to stop this video and start the next one.